All right. Hello. Welcome back to the BXR Podcast. We got the whole crew minus Kevin. Luke's back. He came out of his cave of recording Rocket Sloth videos. They let him out for a few minutes to join us.
Just a few.
Yeah. But today we're gonna. It's technically it's 2024 now, but kind of do a little 2023 wrap up. Talk about some of the games that surprised us the most this year, games that disappointed us, and then stuff we're looking forward to next year. I figured we would stay away from, all the super generic game award type stuff since everyone has done it by now. Because, if we did game of the year, how exciting would it be to listen to us talk about Baldur's Gate again? So that's where we're going to go with it. And I figure, honestly, we can kind of just jump right in. So I think we'll do games that surprised us the most first. So basically the concept here, and I mean, people can talk about whatever, but it's just a game that you were pleasantly surprised by. So obviously it's not going to be like a game of the year contender probably, but just something you played and you were like, wow, this is fun. So I'll let Mr. PopQ go first.
What was the question?
just talk about a game that you like this year.
Halo 3? Can I talk about Halo 3?
Oh god,
probably something that came out this year, but you do.
Maybe you should. Well, when I joined the call, I was like, these guys are gonna talk about Halo again. It didn't even take 60 seconds.
Yeah,
but
it's one of the good Halos, so you can't be mad.
Oh my God.
I don't know. That time's over.
Well,
guys, we cannot become Halo people again.
Well, when it comes to games that I played this year, 3 come to mind. Payday 3, which was pretty ass. I played Remnant 2. Still haven't beat it yet. We're on the final boss, and that was all right for the playthrough that I did with some buddies. But and the finals. The finals was the other game I played recently, and at first I was having fun with it. I was enjoying it, but as time went on, I don't really like the way the game mode works in that. I think it allows for bad teams to come out on top. There's a cheating problem in that game, like there is with a lot of games now. So that's kind of really turned me off to the game. Cheating has turned me off to a lot of different games now. So multiplayer gaming's kind of dead for me. But yeah, that's about it for games I played this year.
I do have to say, cheating is becoming more and more of an issue. It's ruining so many games nowadays.
It is, and it's I notice people acknowledge that. They're like, yeah, the cheating is really bad. But then they'll proceed to play these games and act like everything's legitimate that happens. Like, if I played Call of Duty for an hour straight, played a bunch of matches, and you told me there was a cheater in every one of my games, that wouldn't be surprising to me. That shouldn't be surprising to anyone. That's how bad it is. You should question if there's a cheater in every single match. That is how bad it is. I mean, for the first time in a long time, I've actually debated on going back to console because cheating is less of a problem on console.
Hey, let me tell you right now, it's not anymore. Rainbow Six Siege, there's 10 people in my game. I swear to God, 7 people are cheating with the mouse and keyboard stuff.
Yeah, there's
it's insane.
Oh yeah, there is that. Yeah, true. Zim and Cronus's, so that's a big problem there too. But it still might be more of a problem on PC, but yeah, it is still a very big problem on console as well. So, like I said, yeah, multiplayer gaming is kind of dead for me. But another reason why I, still prefer to play Halo 3 now, besides me just enjoying Halo 3 is, at least in Halo, it's pretty easy to tell if somebody's cheating compared to other games with the theater mode and the longer time to kill. And things like that. For me, it's a lot easier to see if someone's cheating in a game like that than in something like COD or a Battle Royale.
Or everyone's favorite Counter-Strike 2. Everyone's most anticipated game.
Or even in CS.
Yeah, I play it every day. Good game.
It's just because you're European. That game actually
it's nothing for you Americans. Yeah, that's true. You guys stay on Call of Duty.
Hey, there's a reason why my knives halved in value,
Well, you do have butt plugs.
Yeah, maybe it was a knife choice. You should have got a karambit.
I know. I had a karambit and it actually flopped, and then I had a butterfly, and the butterflies held its value. But I mean, everything in that game crashed because the game dropped at how much in player base? It went from 2 million to I think it lost half of its players, right?
Well, I mean, was it 2 mil the day it came out or some shit?
Yeah, no.
Well, no, in the lead up because everyone was so excited, and then
'cause
it
you had to
like
fucking,
tapered off.
open the game to try and get in. Yes, it lost. I think last I saw it was maybe down like a couple 100,000 from like the average before. But
I think it'll recover over time.
Yeah, obviously you would have expected the new game to like continue the growth, but yeah, it's Counter-Strike. It'll be fine.
But I do have to say they have been doing updates like every couple of days and stuff. They've been doing crazy updates, like not like in size the updates, but like they've been doing bug fixes like every other day or some shit for some weeks.
Crazy that they released the game in such a state that they have to release bug fixes every day, though.
Yeah. But I mean, that's how Counter-Strike Go kind of released too.
They fucked themselves by saying that it has to come out during summer of this year, but I guess of last year, of 2023. If they just said it's going to come out, if they just said it has to come out, like 2024 early, then I think it actually does better as a game.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably not wrong, because they really could have just left it in beta and just waited, and like,
yep.
Even if it was because toward the end of the beta, it was more open. Like, I feel like most people got into it by then. So they could have just left it like that, still done the updates, but not had like the big release until this year sometime. And it probably would have came out as a better game. But they also had to push it out because they're trying to have the first CS2 major. Like, it was already announced it was going to be this year. So like the game can't come out in March and have the major in March. You know what I mean? So like is it March? It's early. It's like the first quarter of this year. So like it had to come out last year to like give time for the pros to play on it a little bit at least. Plus, they had to do
a couple of the pros say the game's so ass that they're not going to even show up to it.
Well, a Simple hasn't even been playing. He literally benched himself because he doesn't want to play CS2. He's the fucking goat of Counter-Strike. He just isn't playing CS2 because he says it's a bad game. But I guess
there's lots of issues with it.
Yeah.
The other day, sorry.
No.
You know how you can like throw smoke to like get rid of a Molotov and like it insta pops? That hasn't been working properly, and like the smoke will just bounce through the Molotov. And you just die.
That's not good. That's not good. But yeah, to wrap back to PopQ's point, console's not even a good solution because so many games force crossplay. Like, can you in COD? Can you even turn off crossplay? I don't think you can you?
You can on PlayStation. That's a part of PlayStation's rule.
Can't you do it through like the Xbox settings? I think there's like a setting like at the dashboard or
like
something.
Like a privacy setting? Like, sorry.
Yeah, like a privacy setting. Yeah, privacy.
I only play with other box owners.
I think he's right because I think it's it's a family thing because they can monitor Xbox Live, but they can't monitor PC players. So, yeah.
But the question is, does it work? That's the real question. I don't know if it works.
That's
I think
the question,
people have complained about it.
So when they monitor the Xbox kids, like, does the lobby have less slurs or more slurs?
I feel like less people have a mic, so probably less.
What's the data on that?
Because the COD lobbies that like I haven't been playing as much recently, but dude, it's a step back in time. Like you play Search, every game is an N-word. Every game.
Search right now is kind of like some 1950s Alabama level racist.
Dude,
people get so pressed in COD. It's unbelievable how mad they get over everything. It's just like, man, it really is like you're playing MW2 again back in the day. I've never seen anything like it. No other game is like COD.
All those engagement baits of you wouldn't stand a chance. I don't think I'd stand a chance there. I think it's worse.
Yeah, it's worse. It's like people meme about it, and other people go, "Oh, it wasn't really that bad back then," or this. No, it was that bad, and it's actually worse now in COD because every unhinged, deranged person plays Call of Duty, and that's the entire fan base. I'm just gonna say it. There's something wrong with all of those players.
It's such a large fan base that I think
it's all the blue check marks from Twitter.
Whoa! I still have mine.
The anime profile pics, the Spartan pics.
No, I think honestly, the people that are in your COD lobbies are none of those people. It's just the people that literally only play COD. Like the only video game they play is Call of Duty and like maybe a sports.
I don't know. I get called slurs on other games all the time too. I think it's just like an online issue, and they're usually younger. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
what's the worst thing somebody said to you on Fortnite?
Dude, I don't think anyone's ever talked to
I
me.
mean, I'm sure
Probably
I've heard
called you.
slurs
Probably
on
called you a boomer.
No.
I
They
had
dropping
two
all the
children.
slurs too over there.
I had 2 children when I was engaged. They said that they'd set us up a marriage in creative mode, and they did.
That's crazy.
So, shout out to those little kids that were the
Uh,
officiants.
When
Fortnite
Fortnite first came out, like season 2, we won a match, and this guy messaged me on Xbox for like 3 months telling me to kill myself. I finally had to block him.
I do have to
Like-
say,
How long is this gonna last for? Can't keep doing it.
there's a Siege memory that I have recently where we're like playing and this guy team kills me, so obviously I have to team kill him back next round, right? And then I'm pleading to Elijah. I'm like, yo, I swear if you team kill him for me again, he'll call me a slur. And you know what happens? You know, instant, all the slurs start flowing.
Didn't your TikTok get like community striked because of that clip?
No, I never uploaded that. I don't know. That's that
okay,
clip set
okay.
on the vault, dude. I never, no one
Alright.
ever saw that besides
That
you
one's
guys.
for the group chat.
That one's for the group chat. Yeah. I don't know. They just said like slurs. I don't need to post that, dude. That's not that special.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, Mr. Jared, what's a game that surprised you this year?
This might sound surprising, but the original, I'll kind of put them together, but the original Dead Space and the remake, because I never played Dead Space until 2023. I always heard about how good it was, but I'm like, it's probably just another third-person kind of horror game. It can't be that great as everyone makes it sound, and I was surprised. I'm like, man, this game feels so good to play. Maybe you don't like the aesthetics, or maybe you don't like the story, wherever, if you have issues with the game. But in terms of just like gameplay perspective, like how it feels to aim and shoot and the way the mechanics work, I couldn't believe how good that game felt for a game from whatever year it came out back in the 2000s. And even obviously the remake feels good too. It actually blew me away. I'm like, man, I wish more games felt like this, at least on controller, because a lot of third-person shooters on controller to me feel kind of ass to play. Like, just the aiming doesn't feel good. But in Dead Space, it's the best I've ever felt in a game when it comes to just pure aiming. And it made me really enjoy it that much more, because I like mechanics of a game to feel good while I'm playing it. Because if they don't feel good, the game can kind of be a slog to go through. And I don't know, it just made me enjoy it way more. So that was kind of one of the games that really surprised me, that I didn't expect to like as much as I did.
Yeah, I didn't finish it. Shocker. But the Dead Space remake is really good, and I like recently played the first game on PC, like maybe a year or two ago, and it's kind of dog shit. But the game is good, but the PC port is like really bad. So the remake actually running properly, except I must say, so that the remake came out and I bought it, right, and I launch it up, and you know how it's like is it to shove or so? One of the I think it's to shove. One of the main abilities you need to do just didn't work for me. And so I'm looking in the keybinds, and it's bound to spacebar, and I'm trying to figure it out, and it's just like I'm playing for like an hour and it's not working. So I start Googling it, and so apparently even though I didn't have a controller plugged in, it was still like reading the controller keybind, so I had to unbind all the controller buttons to get it to work. And then the game was fun. But besides that, it was a pretty good game.
You know,
Yeah,
I just realized I think bad PC ports have kind of died off. I mean, outside of like Jedi Survivor, because that used to be
we
a
got The
problem
Last
where-
of Us 2 this year.
Last of Us.
Yeah, The Last
What?
of Us and
Oh, okay.
Wild Hearts, which
Yeah.
was a game I really enjoyed,
Yeah,
had such a bad PC
There was
port,
plenty
it
of
killed
dog
the
shit
game.
PC ports this game.
Yeah.
This year.
I stand corrected. I was thinking I guess a lot of the games now come out on PC. They're not really ports.
Okay, yeah, it's
So-
like the PC version, but it is probably less often, because in the past you used to have a console version, right? And then 6 months or a year later you'd get a PC port, and it was just guaranteed it would be dog shit.
Yeah.
Now it's like a toss up, and maybe it's okay, and more often than not, usually it's decent these days. But yeah, it's definitely a little bit more of a toss up. But all right, Mr. BK, what was a game you liked this year?
It's going to be slightly controversial, and I don't even know if it's a this year thing, but Star Citizen now I think is actually a video game. I think it's past scam territory. I bought the game as a freshman, and I'm now a freshman in high school, and I'm 25 now, and I think I can finally play it. and
Oh my.
almost recommend it to people. It's because I played Starfield, and obviously that game was a little disappointing and ass. And I was like, oh, let's see how my favorite scam's going. And I played it, and they added a ton of shit. I think just recently they added scavenging, like, you know, like those dad games where you can just sit there and like you just scrape the metal off, and you get these cubes, and you got to move the cubes around in a big ship. And I don't know, it's a I believe that the term is called dad-esque games because you sit there, you put a podcast on, and it's an enjoyable game. Now, I would say if you were to get Star Citizen, you get a $30 starter ship, and then you just get some sugar daddies on Discord. And I have people that have given me millions of dollars, which equates to like real life hundreds of dollars, and then you just buy a ship like that.
Can you
And
sell
that's a good game.
Can you just cash out the money?
Not for real money. It's because they no life the game so hard that they're just loaded, and you'll be like, oh man, that ship's so nice. I wish I had hundreds of dollars. And they're like, hey, here's some millions of dollars for you. And then you get to enjoy more gameplay loops. There's mining ships, the bounty hunting, the cargo, the salvage. And there's ground combat now that it's like, okay, I don't understand the people that play that game for that, but it's cool that it has it in the game. And I don't feel like that many people are talking about how good Star Citizen is these days.
I think it's because it took I mean, I still haven't played it, but like that game was a scam for so many years that I think people just don't care. Like it was in the news cycle too many times to the point where like people are like, yeah, I don't care to even hear about its existence anymore.
It's like the #1 Kickstarter scam game. Like most notorious.
And like we have to be real. I mean, I'm sure I believe you. The game is probably decent today. It's still a scam. The amount of money they took for that piece of shit for that game, like there was some siphoning of funds that went somewhere that was not the development of that game.
The main problem with the game, and I've noticed it with the sugar daddies that give me money, is they've bought into this promise of certain things about like whole galaxies being added, and like these people are banking on trash cans being added into the game because you have to like eat and drink, and people just litter everywhere, and the fucking server has persistent litter, and it kills the server FPS and makes the game laggy. So people are excited for trash cans in the game.
That's crazy.
And
hey, that's realism, man. It's like real life. Trash
the game.
The world.
It's stupid ass Chris Roberts is trying to sell like this. Oh, it's going to be like real life space, but like I don't want real life space. You have to, when you spawn in the game, you have to commute, and I'm talking like a 30-minute train ride to a hangar so that you can take off and have fun. And all the nerds that like the game are like, oh, this is just like space real life. This is just what Chris Roberts envisioned. Who wants this? It's a video game. And if you play it like that, like it's real life space game, ass scam game, if you play it like, you know, better flight control Starfield, it's a good game.
See, I think probably the reason most of the people are fine with that is because the people that play those like those like space games are like different breeds. Because like that's like EVE Online. If you want to travel,
I think
across
closer
the
to
galaxy,
Farm Simulator, right?
You're just like you're just flying across hidden gates, warping around for like an hour to go from like one end of from like one area to another, and then you do like your gameplay loop for 10 minutes, and then you go fucking do it again. So like I think like that the traveling and stuff in those games for people is just like relaxing and satisfying, so they don't mind it.
Isn't that a similar thing with WoW? Like there's no fast traveling. You gotta walk
WoW has like a billion
everywhere.
Mechanics now to get around. So in like old school classic.
Yeah, but when
WoW,
you take your little flying thing, whatever, to get to one spot to the next, like you just gotta sit there and do the whole flight path, you know?
Yeah, but usually it's not 30 minutes. It's like
well, no, it's not that long, but fast traveling would still be quicker, obviously.
I mean, yeah.
WoW has a lot of teleport mechanics. Like you can play like half the game, not even leaving a major city anymore. So you just sit in the city and you queue for things, and then once you're queued, it teleports you there. What's up?
Right. Okay.
I just realized that you're saying Q, like not the European version, because I was just thinking in Star Citizen, I've had to wait in line. I've had to queue to like buy food, and I'm sitting there like, Jesus Christ, Chris Roberts. I got to buy the fucking space food to space eat because I just want to go kill something, you know?
Yeah, but anyways, so once you like get into a dungeon or something, you can just teleport there. Or even if you're doing like, even if you're raiding, you set up your like raid group. You can just sit in the city, and then once you're in the raid, as long as like 2 people are there, they just summon you at the rock. And so like, you know, I'm a lazy human being, so I'm not the one summoning people. Someone better have gotten their ass over there because I'm still sitting in the city. But,
yeah, I have seen that now that you mention it.
So over the years, I feel like WoW has made it a lot easier to just kind of yeet across. But like classic WoW, you're right. If you wanted to fly from like one end of the continent to the other, you were hitting the flight path and just watching it for like 5 minutes. So yeah, I feel like a lot of modern games have kind of realized like it's cool and immersive until you do it like twice, and then you're like, you know, I actually don't want to do that. So if I could just skip all of that and then play, that'd be great. But yeah, so I don't. What do you think the player base of Star Citizen is these days? Because it's just on like their own launcher, so we have no way to see it, right? Do they ever like tell people?
I think they did in the recent Citizen Con because it made a shit ton of money. I think they made like $400,000 in a week. So I think people estimate it's like 80,000 to 100,000 concurrent players.
God damn.
Yeah. But also, that could just be 5 whales and, you know, a handful of people.
Does Jeff Bezos and friends really like this game?
Maybe they do. Maybe that's what they play there.
I sadly know in these Discord groups of the people that play it, they actually just blow their entire paycheck and they live like homeless people so that they can have a $5,000 ship.
Yo, that's the metaverse that Mark Zuckerberg envisioned, dude. That's crazy.
That kind of stuff makes me so fucking depressed. Like, because there's so many Star Citizen, obviously, but there's so many just like gotcha games on people's phones where like people who aren't super well off are just dropping like hundreds of dollars per paycheck to open up packs in some shitty ass like Summoner's War game. And it's like, bro, I understand it's addicting, but like, please, like, you don't have a car. Like, you're fucking taking the shit ass bus in Omaha, Nebraska. Like, please, for 3 months, stop buying fucking packs out of this piece of shit.
This reminds me of that Genshin Impact player who spends like, he lives with his parents still. He's like 45, makes like 500,000 a year, and like 350 of it goes towards Genshin Impact.
Holy fuck.
God.
He's just like, this is just what I enjoy to do with my time. It's like they want me to get a girlfriend, but I have all of these ladies.
And
honestly,
yeah,
he got his waifu suit and he's happy.
Yeah, man, they don't age.
Fuck that guy's happiness. He's blowing money.
But luckily for us, those people are why gaming is kind of the way it is. So it almost doesn't matter what normal people spend their money on. It as long as like whales exist, microtransactions and shit will continue to be like force fed into games.
I played Dead by Daylight the other night, and I seen a skin I liked, and it was like, I think it was like $10, and I just couldn't bring myself to do it. I really wanted it, but I'm like, I just can't do it because I feel disgusted just spending money on something that might not exist anymore in like 10 years.
Did you buy the Halo CE armor in Halo Infinite?
I did not.
What? Dude, oh my
I
God.
do not.
Good. That's based.
I'm proud of you, Jared. I don't even have Halo installed anymore.
I'm so proud of you.
That was my New Year resolution. I played it that night before New Year's. I said, "Fuck this game. I'm done with it."
Dude,
I'm moving on. I just can't do it anymore. I need a break from Halo for a long time. I'll come back eventually.
I saw someone tweet the other day that their New Year's resolution was not playing Halo, and then the next day I saw a quote tweet that said, "I failed." Like, it's not that hard to not play fucking Infinite. Like, I think I've watched it like once in the past like 3 weeks, which like I'm fine with. But
that's crazy.
All right, Luke. What's a game that's pleasantly surprised you this year?
Lethal Company, honestly, like I don't know, playing a ton, and I don't know, it's just a fun game to play with friends, and
I guess
there's
that
tons
actually
of
is a
mod
huge
support and
surprise.
stuff. Yeah, and I mean, like I don't know, I think this game is amazing, and that's just it. I mean, I don't know. Also, I
Was
played
it
a lot
made
of
by one
Battlefield 20.
person?
Yes, it's made by one person that used to be like a guy that made Roblox games, and now he makes his own games. So
He's moving up in the world.
That guy's probably experiencing Flappy Bird's level wealth.
Oh,
with how well that
without
game's
the
been
ape.
doing.
sure.
yeah,
It's like the dude who made like Stardew Valley. Like it's just one dude and made like a fucking mega viral indie game. Obviously,
That guy
it's good.
actually hired a bunch of people.
The
So
Stardew Valley guy.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
to like just do bug fixes and like updates, and then he's like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna go work on my own game again, just by myself."
Like post launch,
that's the way
he
to do
hired
it.
a bunch of people.
Yeah,
Oh,
post
okay.
launch, and so like one of their biggest updates was the ability to sit. So
Also
you
the
probably
co-op
paid
update.
someone Yeah, that was made
yeah, but
by
yeah,
not
Lethal
him.
Company, amazing game. I don't know if any of you played it. I can only recommend it.
We
Yeah, we played.
we
Installing
played
mods
it.
is super easy too.
Yeah, the mods seem super cool. I want to play more, but someone in this fucking call can't get the game to work. So
I think it's a Windows 11
Yep.
thing. I got to be honest.
yeah,
That's
It works for me.
I
Hey,
mean,
it works for me.
It was so strange. Like you guys were walking on like invisible shit, and I just had no idea what was going on. It looked like a cool game though.
I think
it
maybe
was
you
fun.
repurchase it and see if it works now. I think it's time.
Oh,
It's
maybe
like
Steam
what?
is mad
It's
because
like
I did refund that
$15,
one too,
isn't it?
didn't I?
Like I think you
It's
just
10.
keep that. It's $10. I think you just
$10.
keep that.
How much
in
more
the
money does
library.
he need? Okay,
He needs
fucking
more.
guy.
He's gotta make.
hey, gotta support the people that make good games. Honestly,
Gotta bring it to console.
All right, so obviously, like, Lethal Company's kind of a derivative of like Phasmophobia. I feel like they're pretty similar games. Do you think it's a lot better, or do you just think it's like the newest co-op horror game where you just like do shit and it's kind of scary? Like, do you think because Phasmophobia popped off a little bit and then like fell off a cliff? Do you think Lethal
Yeah.
Company has more of a tail?
maybe Phasmophobia didn't have all the mod support and stuff, and I
it
think
didn't.
Lethal Company already is like a better
Also,
game at like the
isn't
biggest
the-
point than when Phasmophobia was at its biggest point. So yeah,
Oh
I don't
yeah,
know.
Lethal
I mean,
Company is
thing with-
bigger.
I think it'll fall
It's not
off.
like a
obviously,
crazy good
but-
game. It's just like a friend. It's just like a social thing. Like a
Yeah, a
fucking-
social game. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes these social games. I mean, Among Us was huge, right? That was like mostly a social game and stuff.
Yeah, it'll
It's-
probably have the same tail that Among Us had.
I mean, yeah, it'll still be around
Well,
for a
with
while.
the mods
I
as
think.
well.
I mean, I think it'll drop off from where it is, but like, I think it'll still always have a player base. And I mean, even Phasmophobia has a certain player base nowadays too.
Yeah, it's still like, I mean, it's not like
Yeah.
popping, but it's still fairly populated. So
Yeah,
was
I
just
haven't
curious.
played Lethal Company, but it does look like one of those games that isn't going to be huge for several years. It does seem like it will have a drop off, similar to
And I mean, that's
like you
fair
mentioned,
because
Among Us and Phasmophobia.
Yeah, which
you play it with your friend group, and then you get tired of it, and maybe a little later you hop back onto it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it costs $10,
it's-
so like, who cares?
Yeah,
like,
it's
it-
not really
yeah.
like a online game, like matchmaking type
Yeah,
game. You know,
I
it's
mean,
just
if you-
Yeah,
something-
not every game has to have that several year longevity to it.
Yeah, even if you get like a night with the boys for $10 and you have a good time, it's worth it. But like, obviously, Lethal
Yeah.
Company
cheaper
has,
than a movie ticket.
yeah, Lethal Company has much more playtime than like one night. But like, I actually, as I've gotten older, and like maybe it's because I'm just not broke, but like, I don't want every game to fucking last forever. Like sometimes I just I want new shit to come out. I want to pay for it, and I want it to be fun for a few months. And then you know what? If it starts to dwindle, I'll play a different game. Like I don't
mean, the
need
way
the
I
same
see it-
shit to keep going forever and ever.
See, I'm the opposite. I want that.
Oh.
I want that new Halo 3. I'm cool with a game that will last me for several years that I can just invest my time into. I'm cool with that. I
The-
can
the
play something
problem-
really good for several years. I don't need variety. If I have a game that is fun and entertaining for several years to come.
There's nothing that's been like close to that for me in like modern gaming.
There,
But
there hasn't. Oh
I
no,
guess
there
your
hasn't.
point.
Not at all.
I guess Fortnite would be the closest thing.
yeah, if you like Fortnite, then Fortnite's good. Or like, if you're really into Apex, like Apex has been good for a
Oh,
while.
I
Or like
hate that game, dude.
COD
Oh my
has
God.
its ups and downs, but like I can only do so much.
Siege has been holding on.
Yeah, well, they're actually awful. Ubisoft might be actually the worst developer. They might be worse than Trigger 3, not gonna lie. Like, the Jinxie, made this game, like, beyond, like, blew it up again. And now that every update, the anti-cheat hasn't been working on PC, right? They're allowing simming. They're, like, just having these cheater lobbies. Fuck Ubisoft. They're the worst fucking developer on this earth. And their updates are awful. They break the game constantly. They're dog shit at what they do. Sorry.
So, no, Siege aside, I don't know how Ubisoft is still in business, if I'm being honest. Like, when was the last time Ubisoft made a game that was above mid?
Never.
I can't.
I guess
Ever.
Siege?
They've made good video games, but like
When?
modern, I like the Splinter Cell
Tell me
games
what-
were good back on like the PS2.
Yeah, okay. I'll give you that. 20 years ago, maybe they made a good game. Sure, yeah. Okay.
Hey,
Well,
the next
apparently
good
the
game
new
for them
Star
to come out
Wars
this month.
Outlaws.
That's just not even out.
that is not
The only
good.
people that have played it are like the fucking the press coverage, and they
journalists.
also told me the fucking the Avatar game was good, and it's just like Far Cry.
That's
so
true.
like
Hey, we got.
Well, what about Far Cry? Didn't people love Far Cry 5?
Yeah,
Far
but
Cry
it's,
5
it's old.
was good, but like, I don't know if I would consider it like the
we
greatest
just
game.
mentioned Splinter Cell. It's not as old as Splinter Cell.
the
love
the
Splinter
original like Far Cry 1 through 3 are like
No,
amazing
Far Cry
games.
5.
No, 5.
And
I
then
said.
the
Yeah.
more recent ones, they're just like the same thing. They haven't like innovated.
But like
at
Far
all.
Cry 5 is also like 5 years old now.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, it
it's
is.
also kind of old too. But there's Far Cry 6 that came after it, right?
I know, but I saw more.
Is 5 the one where you
praise for
fight the
Far Cry
cult?
5.
Yeah. I mean, I do have to say the
I've
setting in
played that
5
one
is
a bit.
definitely the best one. I'm open.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's still like, you do this, you go here. It's very like, I
It's
don't
Far
know.
Cry.
But is it above? Is it above mid?
It might be above
No.
mid, but
A little above mid, yeah.
it was also what 5 years ago, and that's one game. I am excited for the Prince of Persia game, Jared. But again, that's
Yeah,
like it's not actually an indie game. Like we're not doing this Dave the Diver shit, but
Yeah,
it's like
no,
a
it's
lower
not.
budget Ubisoft game. So like it can only be so cool. But it
Isn't
looks
it in
fun.
development hell?
The Prince? No. This is the 2D platformer Prince of Persia game. It comes out
Oh.
this month, like the 20th
The remake
or something.
is in development hell.
Yeah,
right?
that's
Some
probably never coming out. But yeah, other than that, so they had like the Crew Motorsport, which is just like average racing game, right? Then you have Skull and Bones, which like I didn't even bother playing the beta. I heard it was pretty bad, but like I'm sure it's not going to be great. X Defiant.
I'm looking
just
forward
fucking,
to it.
like, what happened to X Defiant, dude? Like,
yeah.
the only thing they tweet anymore is about how the game isn't coming out, and they've been saying the same shit for like 6 months. Every time they tweet, it's some bullshit about how like the game didn't pass approval on console. Like, is your game still that fucking broken? What do you mean it didn't pass approval?
We've
that's
made
an
some
excuse for
progress on our
1 week.
networking issue.
Like, dude, the game must be like hella broken if they can't get it. Like, that shit was supposed to come out like last summer, wasn't it? Like, I don't know. By the time X Defiant comes out, I think it just flops. Like, it is taking so long.
It's my
Even with
fault.
MW2,
I enjoyed a game. I'm not allowed to enjoy games. It's my fault. I apologize.
Yeah, I played one of the first closed betas or alphas or whatever, and I thought the game was kind of ass back then.
I thought it was too. We were playing with
It's never
BXR. He's
coming
like, I fucking love this game, and I was like, oh, this game.
No, I mean, I didn't think it was incredible, but I was enjoying it.
I
Which
see you
is
saying Ubisoft made a
something I
mid
can't
game,
say
huh?
for something I can't say for a lot of games. Well, I mean, mid's better than ass, and a lot of games now are ass. So I'll take that.
I do just want new multiplayer games. So like X Defiant being from a AAA developer, like being a new multiplayer game. There was excitement for it, but it's kind of gone by this point. Like I don't even know. I mean, I'll play it when it comes out, but I think by now it just flops. Like I think its opportunity was to come out during MW2 when all the fucking cracked movement kids were complaining about COD, and it could have came out and maybe like captured at least had a few months where it was popular. But by the time it comes out now, like I don't think anyone cares.
I mean,
anymore.
they almost had another chance with MW3 being like this bad.
MW3's
like,
campaign is bad. The rest of the game is fine. Like,
But it's like a map pack.
It's like a map pack, but like the hardcore players that were complaining about MW2, they are the people that love MW3. The people that wouldn't play MW3 are like the casuals that are like, oh, I don't like it when he slide on me.
Uh-huh.
I don't mind the sliding. I don't know.
The thing is, the X-Defiant kids are probably loving the MW3 right now.
Yeah, that's what I
Their
think.
exact audience is loving the COD.
Yeah, it's higher time to kill. It's movement E. The only difference is, I guess, X-Defiant has abilities, but I think Black Ops 4 proved that people don't really like those anyways. So, like, those were just kind of a concession I think people were willing to accept because they wanted the other stuff. But maybe it'll be decent if it ever comes out. Maybe it'll fucking pull a Hyenas and it'll just get canceled. So, okay. So we're gonna jump sections and then we'll come back. So I played. I don't know if it matters at this point, but like in one. Oh, it had an open beta. Okay, well pretend I played the Hyenas open beta. All right, the game wasn't amazing, but I actually legitimately thought it was like kind of fun and had potential. That shit just straight getting canned like right before it was gonna release. It was such a shocker to me. I was like, what the fuck? Like, it's Sega's most expensive game of all time. They let it get all the way till after open beta and then they canceled it. Like, they must have been getting some horrid feedback.
Maybe it's a tax write-off. Who knows?
I think that's what they do with those, right? They just write them off. So like,
it's a Japanese company, so I don't know if it works like that.
Oh shit! Yeah, you might be right.
But like, that's just my best guess. I don't know.
Well, no,
but like,
it was Certain Affinity.
Oh, was it?
Well,
okay,
Sega was funding
no,
it, but it was Certain
It was
Affinity.
Creative Assembly, right?
Fuck, those names, they go back.
The developer of Halo Wars 2, Creative Assembly, I think. Pretty sure.
It's the same people who make the Total War games, right?
I don't know why we need a Sega extraction shooter, to be honest.
I said Creative Assembly.
Okay, you were right. So I don't know where Creative Assembly is. Are they in America or Europe?
50-50 shot.
Anyways, who cares? But yeah, I was actually like a little bit disappointed that game didn't come out at all. But yeah, so game that I was pleasantly surprised by this year, BattleBit, pretty cool. It's kind of ran its course for me a little bit, but like I had a good. I think I've played like 20 or 30 hours of BattleBit. It was a grand old time. I still like occasionally launch it, although it's having an identity crisis right now. So. Mm-hmm. Originally, like way back in development, the game was like super milsim, and they play tested it, and people told them like, no, that's not very fun. So like, it just doesn't fit the art style. So they made it like way more arcadey. It came out. I feel like people really liked it, but then obviously the population kind of dwindled, and now I think like the developers think because the population is dwindling that no one likes the arcadey gameplay because some of the people that are left are more hardcore. So they're making like changes to make it more milsim-y, and I not a huge fan of that. But overall,
I hated the milsim elements of it, like the magazine stuff, dude. I don't know, dude. I think it's the magazine stuff the main reason I didn't quite play anymore, because it just got annoying running out of ammo and having to combine your magazines.
Which is, it's weird. They said in an interview that they literally made that game because they didn't like how Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 5 were like swaying away from the team play of the other Battlefield games. So they were like, yeah, we're just going to basically make a low poly Battlefield 3, which would be arcadey. And then for some reason, I think one of them played, Squad or whatever. It's like, oh, we should make it like a mix of both. But they didn't realize that you can't really mix those two things. Otherwise, you end up with, 2049.
Yeah, I think the confusion there is like both of them are high populate or like high player count, right? So you like, I guess maybe you lump them together, but Squad and fucking Battlefield are like such different genres. Like, sure, there's a lot of players on the map and they usually have vehicles, but you're playing two different games. Like, I haven't played Squad personally, but like when I play some of the milsim games, like there, the movement's more grounded. You die in half a bullet, like people kind of work together, and then you play Battlefield. I just fucking yeet around the map sliding and stuff in the modern Battlefields. So like it's a totally different video game, even though there's like some similar elements. So like BattleBit trying to like at one point it was way more Battlefield, and now it's like coming back this way, and it's like whatever. The game was successful. They made a ton of money, so fuck
I
it.
actually played a ton of Battlefield 2042 this year. And I kind of enjoy it.
How is it these days?
Yeah. I don't know, I kind of like it. I mean, it feels good. Gunplay is good. So I don't know.
Gunplay
It looks kind of fun.
Content is, I mean, I don't know. Continents there right now. There's good maps. I don't know. I think they updated
It feels like a fucked up Chinese version of COD. Like I saw on r/Battlefield today, they were showing like what the old maps looked like and like what the old players looked like, and it definitely had like a COD but big and gritty while still being a fun arcade. It was basically like Squad mixed with COD. That was the appeal to it, was that it was gritty and arcadian, like that you could just pick it up. And now it's wacky. It's just, and COD is wacky, so they got rid of their main identity for it, and I think that's why people hated the new one so much, even though it had good gameplay. It just wasn't Battlefield.
It also was mega broken, right?
Yeah.
It didn't have a scoreboard at launch.
Every game is mega broken.
forgot
The
about
fact that an update was adding a scoreboard is fucking insane.
Yeah.
Oh god, that's some
we'll
insane
see how bad
shit.
they are.
All right, who has another game that they like this year?
Is adding an update adding a scoreboard? Is that as bad as an update adding mission select to Halo?
No, they're both equally pretty shit.
That's modern gaming.
They should have. Infinite should have had an update to add checkpoints.
Replay. Jesus.
Like the game should have launched no checkpoints, and they could have fucking added them in.
Yeah.
But,
The Deathless.
yeah. All right, who has another game that they like this year? I'm sure someone has one.
Dude,
I guess
we have
isn't gaming
disappointing
great?
games, right?
I mean,
No, we're talking about games
if you want to
love.
move on, and if you don't have any other games you liked, we can move to disappointing.
I mean, I got one game to shout out real quick, and it's a tiny game made by two devs that I've been playing called Dual Corp that I made a video on the other day. It's a Souls-like, kind of has a Minecraft art style to it, an old school look, and it has one of the most interesting gameplay loops in a video game I've ever experienced. So the way it works is when you go into a multiplayer like mode or area, however you want to put it, you could do co-op or solo, and it's randomly generated, which I know that puts a lot of people off, and it does have its issues. Like you can sometimes not be able to complete an area because it'll like create a cliff you can't pass, or you'll have spots where you get stuck. But like the way the gameplay loop works in these areas is you spawn in, there's a random modifier, and then a random objective you have to do. So the modifier might do something like arrows explode, and it affects all enemies, not just your character, all enemies. Or it'll be something like down attacks will kill you in one hit. So that applies to the enemies too. And then your objective will be like kill all the elite enemies in the area, kill all the mages, something like that. So it kind of promotes you to go around and kill different enemies, because once you complete the objective, the end portal of the area opens up and you can leave, but there's also a chest at the end of the area which can only be opened when you collect all items in that generated area. So the game does a really good job of promoting you to explore everything so you can get like your full rewards. And you also get like a rank based on this, like a percentage that you can raise over time. And they got leaderboards for like the best PvE player. And they got PvP too that kind of follows a similar point system. But I don't know. It was just an interesting gameplay loop I just really enjoyed, and I hope the game does well. It's still an alpha, but I have a feeling it could be, I'm going to say, it could be a very sleeper hit that blows up this year if they pull off everything right. And it will have like a campaign that has like handcrafted areas and stuff and boss fights and everything you'd expect from a Souls-like experience, with a combat system that's like a directional parry system where, if they swing from the left side, you have to block on the left or block on the right or up above. And I don't know, it's an interesting little game I'm excited about. So you heard it here first. It's going to be a special game when it releases.
Weren't you grinding to be number one?
I gave up. Some guy called Oblivious was just tearing it up, and he got like so far ahead of me. I'm like, it's the fucking holidays. Screw this. I can't keep up with this man. He's too determined. So
right, if you want first that bad, you can have it.
Damn right. Like I think I'm in like 5th now. I'm like, you know what? This is good enough. I can live with this.
That's fair. All right. Well, I'll do one more game that I like this year, and then we can do disappointing. The RoboCop game was pretty fun. I thought for like an FPS game, like I've actually never watched the RoboCop movies.
Oh my god!
but despite that, I thought the game was pretty fun. Like the FPS combat is pretty enjoyable, and like for a mid-budget game, like the environments are pretty cool. The only part of the game that I thought was kind of weird is there's a bunch of dialogue sections, and it might just be because I didn't watch the RoboCop movies, but like why is there like it's not just like a regular cutscene where people are talking. It's like a Mass Effect cutscene where like you pick options and they respond based on what you pick. Like it felt
it's a movie tie-in game and you're lost. What do you expect?
Yeah, it fell out of place. Okay, but maybe the people who were into the movie really liked it. Apparently,
when I played it, I thought it fit.
Okay, all right. So that's just a me problem. So that's fair. But okay, seeing as this is the same company that made that pretty bad Terminator game, like this is a pretty good.
That game was okay.
I feel like
I think you're missing the charm of those games is that they're like really accurate of the movie. Like they're kind of shit games, but they have a lot of love in them.
I think this one is a decent game though. Okay, I think the Terminator one was probably only cool if you were a big Terminator fan. Whereas this one, I think, is standalone. I think you could just like shooty, and this game is fine.
Unlike BattleBit, they know their fans. It's just supposed to be for people that like Terminator or RoboCop.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, BattleBit didn't realize that all the people who bought it liked Battlefield, and they're trying to make a game for the whole let loose players.
Yeah, exactly.
But all right, well that's fair. Bolt Gun was pretty fun earlier this year. I don't have much to say about it because it's been a while, but it was pretty cool. All right, let's do disappointing.
I know one game I played a shit ton of this year.
What was that?
Marvel Snap, dude. I got into Marvel Snap.
That was a pretty decent game.
Why do you play on Steam? Isn't it on your phone? Isn't it vertical on Steam?
No, modes.
Is it like I don't know?
Yeah,
I've only played it on my phone.
PC version. But yeah, I mean, like I don't know. I play on my phone. I play on PC. I don't know.
Right,
on the side, whenever. Like, but yeah, I put a ton of time into it, and it's actually kind of fun. It's not as pay to win as a lot of the card games, and the decks are smaller, so it's a little easier to learn than like.
Is it pay to win at all? I think it's.
I mean, it's more like pay to progress, but like you can unlock like all you can unlock all the stuff if you just play enough. If that makes sense. Like they do give you a lot of like they even give you like the in-game currency, like the real world money currency, like on a weekly basis. They give you like 200-300 of those, and you need like 700 to get a skin. So like a week or two of grinding, you can buy a skin, which I think it's pretty nice.
I thought the reason I didn't get too into it, I was playing it, I was like, man, this is like just like Magic, but I like Magic, so I just re-downloaded Magic on my phone.
Yeah, but Magic has so much shit going on. It's just so complicated. I like that it's only 12 cards in a deck.
On mobile, they make Magic less complicated.
What
and
version
I
of
just
Magic
think it adds
is on
depth.
mobile?
They have all the versions.
Is it Arena or is it like one of the old video games?
No, it's Arena.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I would not want to play that on my phone.
No, it's really good on the
for
phone.
You? Like I feel like Magic is so much shit you have to click.
Yeah, it does everything for you. That's why I love it. You just play. It's just like ideas, like what you're wanting to do. It just has more depth than Marvel Snap because you have these ideas in Marvel Snap, but like they're countered so easily.
Yeah.
Or there's like not much to them.
Yeah, I just feel like Marvel Snap is all about like anticipating what your enemy does. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Also, less. Is it meta? Because currently I'm not playing Magic right now because the meta is ass. Like it's like COD.
I mean, there's metas. I mean, I don't know. I feel like there's multiple viable decks when I watch streamers and stuff. But I mean, I'm sure there's like top tier decks. I mean, I don't know.
When I was playing, I remember looking at some decks to be better at Marvel Snap, but I'm also just like a net deck kid, so.
But I think the way it matches you is like kind of like based on the cards you have available or the card pools you have available, so it doesn't really feel that unfair, I guess.
Magic doesn't do that, and sometimes you can get railed by some dude that has a card.
Dude, when the Yu-Gi-Oh game came out, like, was that last year? I know you played a fuck ton of that one. Dude, oh my fucking god, that game. Like, so I'm nostalgic for Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, I fucking played a lot of it, right? So I launched that bitch up, and like the meta of Yu-Gi-Oh! Has like changed so much since the last time I played. And like, there was a ranked ladder, And once you hit a certain point, you played nothing but top tier decks. And so you just sat there and watched for 10 minutes while they did their turn. And then they would let you play and you would give the turn back and then you'd lose.
Yeah, no, you don't understand how bad it is now because they added like over the years, whatever, they added additional ranks. So you have like diamond, you have
they added
master
more?
now. Yeah, they have more
shit.
ranks now.
That's probably
and
better.
Like they had team battles, right, too, that were like casual. But almost no one plays team battles anymore because people just go in there with meta decks and just steamroll these guys who are just trying to have a good time with friends, have fun, and then they just quit the game. And then you go into rank like you have like iron or whatever. But once you get to silver, you just start running into meta decks anyways again because you have all of these guys who are like, oh, I haven't played in months, and it de-ranks you over time. So you just run into the same meta players that also didn't play the same amount of time or whatever, however long you didn't play for. So you're still playing the same people. And then as you rank up, it just gets sweatier and sweatier, and it's so awful. You have like 5 decks you can play. If you play anything outside of that, it's a horrible experience most of the time. It's like, man, that game, it's the sweatiest game I've played in the last 5 years.
Well, that's been
You
Yu-Gi-Oh's
played
problem forever. Because like one of Yu-Gi-Oh's biggest problems, I think, as like a real life card game, is they don't rotate cards. So every new set of cards just has to be better than the old set, otherwise nobody buys them. So like the game has power crept the fuck out of itself because every like major set, or like every time they do, I don't know if they still do the anime, but like every time they used to do like a major new anime, they would add a new mechanic. So like way back in the day, it was like the synchros, and then it was the links, and then it was the fucking XYZ cards that sat on top of each other, and like the pendulum cards,
ones?
and then there's like spell cards that are monsters now, and like now there's like fucking extra spots all over the field. That like the one thing I will give Magic is like, yes, new cards come out all the time, but the game is still the fucking same. Like I haven't played Magic like very competitively or like hardcore in a very like ever, but I also haven't played Magic very much at all. But I could probably download Magic the Gathering Arena and like understand what's going on. Whereas like Yu-Gi-Oh is a different game than like if you haven't played in a few years because of the power creep, and like it's just shit gets so strong. I don't know. I feel like they're not going to obviously
what happened with
like
League.
Yeah, League has League has that problem too. Like the new champions have like a fucking book of abilities. They can do everything.
Luke, you'd be able to say more. I think Siege is also slowly getting to that same problem, right?
No, all the operators, the last 7 operators added are absolute dog shit, worthless. If you play them, get off my team, you're trolling, you should be perma-banned, IP banned, hardware banned from my fucking game.
I guess that's a Riot thing to add super overcomplicated
Overwatch 2,
they're doing it
too recently.
Yeah.
Yeah. The arena thing, right? That was like one of the big ones where you're like, in the 1v1 arena, some crazy
that is
shit.
a fucking League of Legends ass ultimate.
Random like Gulag, like Mordekaiser old. Like, what the fuck are they doing? They're like, what the hell?
And
they're smoking a good
the regular ability is like aim lab. So like you're like it like you shoot someone, and then if you want to regen armor, you have to shoot an orb in the fucking air, and then like aim. I don't know, man.
They're high off the titty milk at fucking Riot Games to like fucking implement some shit like that, dude.
Was it Blizzard that stole all the breast milk? Oh, it was both. Hell yeah.
Oh, geez.
That's right. I thought you were just making a joke. Is that real?
Oh yeah, there was stories. I thought it was just Blizzard, but apparently it was both. Where like women who were breastfeeding, like if so, I won't get too into it, but like if you're breastfeeding, you have to pump at work, and you have to put the milk in the fridge so it doesn't go bad, right? People were stealing it. Like what the fuck?
You gotta have to know.
Yeah, it's very fucking creepy, dude.
Like who does that? Like I don't even know what you're trying to accomplish. Just fucking weird. But then again, those companies are both very weird, so...
I almost spoiled the boys a little bit.
Yeah, it's the Homelander moment.
Yeah.
All right, let's do games that disappointed us. Pop Q, well, you only played like 3 games, so I think you already went through all of them earlier, but is there anything that you didn't play that disappointed you and you just didn't even try it, like before you even launched it?
I mean, no, there wasn't really anything that I had high hopes for. I was a little disappointed that X Defiant got delayed, and there's that.
There you go.
But no, there was definitely a lot of shitters this game, or this year when it comes to games. Redfall, Starfield, a lot of people didn't like, or at least thought was
So sad
underwhelming.
Gollum didn't do well.
Gollum, I mentioned Payday 3 didn't, live up to what Payday 2 did. Yeah, there's just a bunch of bad games this year, broken games, but I didn't play any of them, but yeah.
Fair enough. All right, Jared.
And one more thing I will say is,
yeah.
it's like people forget about that. People forget it seems like they forget how many bad games we had this year when they talk about gaming in 2023. Because so many people act like this was an incredible year for gaming. And honestly, I do not think this was a good year for gaming. When I compare it to what we got in the past with gaming, like 2007, I would not consider this a good year for gaming. Just when I compare the games
That
of
is a
2023
crazy take.
to the no, I wouldn't. A lot of these good games, maybe games that people played once or twice and then just stopped playing. In 2007, you had a lot of good games, great games, tons of content, games people were playing long term, bunch of new IPs at the time, and less broken games then too. I mean, the games that released like in bad shape this year that were either broken or just bad, it's not some like random indie games that you never heard of. A lot of them are big AAA games, most wish-listed games on Steam, Starfield, AAA, Redfall, first-party Xbox game, AAA. Like, these are big games. Modern Warfare, people saying the worst campaign out of any Call of Duty. These are big games that, a lot of people really hated. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, I think I don't know. 2023 it's a very interesting year for gaming because everyone has kind of parroted that this is like one of the best years ever, and the highs of this year were really good. If you like a certain type of game, is that I don't think the good
Single
games
player.
Yeah,
but that's the thing. I'm not basing this off of like the games I enjoy. Like, I mean, if you want to say 2023 was a great year for gaming because you enjoyed a lot of the games that came out this year, sure, that's fine. But that's more of a subjective reasoning.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be more objective. I'm just looking at the content of the games, the quality of the games, were they buggy at launch, how long, how much replayability did the games have.
I mean, if you want to take this as anything at all, because obviously this could be subjective too, but this is the most games we've ever had rated 80s or higher or 90s or higher out of any year ever in history. Obviously, that's still subjective too. It doesn't apply to everyone. But
I mean, ratings
from that
can.
Standpoint.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a
ratings
lot
can
of
be all over the place.
Yeah, there was a lot of good games this year. There was a lot of dog shit this year. So it was like it's like a mixed bag, but the highs of this year were very high.
And like a couple of weeks ago, I was this was like right before the Game Awards. I was looking on Twitch and like the game directory, and I was looking for the Game of the Year nominees for the Game Awards, and I had to go 6 rows down in the directory to find one of the games in the Game Awards nominated for Game of the Year, which was Baldur's Gate 3, which got Game of the Year. And I know, like, a game can be great but not a good, a game can be great despite not having a lot of viewers on Twitch. But I just feel like if Twitch was around back in the day, back in 2007, and it was as big as it is now, I think you'd see a lot of the good games of 2007 dominating the top of the directory, not only in 2007, but several years following that, because the games were just that good. I mean, there's people saying that 2023 was a great year for gaming, or one of the best years of gaming, for a bunch of single-player games that they just played once or twice and like never touched again. Like, it's just...
Well, that's because you want a game to last forever. I genuinely, I think I'm on board with like 7-hour games that are like $30. Those are.
No, I said that's fine. A game, that is fine if a developer wants to make a single-player game with minimal replayability. That's fine. But when we had good single-player games back in 2007, and that good single-player was a fraction of the game. So yeah.
That's not true. Some of the stuff in 07 was primarily single player. It was just like more of a mixed bag. I think like obviously Halo 3
there's plenty of good
and
single
COD
players.
4, but like there's like
those
Mass
were two.
Effect in 07. Was Mass Effect 06? Fuck. Or was it 07?
Mass Effect 2 was, it was 07. I'm pretty sure.
So like Mass Effect's just a single player game. Wasn't BioShock that year? I mean, that was just a single player game.
Didn't that have a multi, or was that BioShock 2?
I don't
BioShock
know, but
2,
like
if we're
I understand that you think it's good, but like if we're counting that, then like then like Fear had a good multiplayer back in the day. Like yeah, like the 10 people that played it.
Fear was
it. I mean, Fear was a good game, but like my point is like
wait, wasn't Team Fortress didn't that also come out in 07?
The Orange Box came out in 07, which like launched TF2 officially, I think.
And I mean, that game, a lot of people still play that today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
that's like a still big game. I mean, if you go through all the games and you look at them all, I mean, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, but that's the thing though. We're going back to comparing multiplayer to single player in a sense, because no single player game will ever maintain population on Twitch.
Yeah,
for viewership.
That's what I was
like Gears and Halo 3 and COD would all be dominating back in 07.
I know. I agree that a lot of single player games don't have the longevity, as much longevity as multiplayer games, but that is my point. Like, I'm acknowledging that. Yeah. So like a good single player game is not on the same level of good as a game that has a good single player and a multiplayer and a map editor and all these other things.
That's true. But then again, also you have to look at it this way. I mean, but look at how high the current multiplayer games are that just kind of focus on that. I mean, what's going to outdo Fortnite in player base right now? Or, whatever other game, Counter-Strike, League, and...
I'm not saying they have to outdo
Grand Theft
that.
Auto 6.
No. Yeah, Grand Theft Auto 6. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, when it doesn't launch
there
with
you go.
online and when it doesn't launch on PC.
Hey, when we get GTA Online 2, 3 years into development, all right, it'll take over the internet. You just wait.
Yeah, that'll have a good single
Until
player
then, you're
and
supposed to buy
multiplayer.
shark cards.
I bet they'll make GTA Online free. If they're trying to maximize money. Actually, maybe they don't have to.
I
feel...
No, they want to charge you by the hour. What are you talking about playing fire?
There's no reason. I get your point, and your point is why Warzone is free, to maximize the people playing. I think GTA is in a different realm because everyone is fucking buying GTA.
Popular.
So it doesn't you get that. See, that's why they fucking launch it like they tell us it's to focus on whatever the fuck. It comes out on PlayStation, so people buy it on PlayStation. Then it comes out on PC and people buy it again, because that's what I fucking did with GTA 5. Like the amount of people that probably bought GTA 5 like at least multiple times, like whether it was old gen, new gen, like people just rebuy GTA games because they're just that fucking good and you just want to play them.
It was even more insane because you had the 360 version come out, then the Xbox One version, and then the PC version.
Yeah, I only did PS3 and then
PS5.
PC, so I at least skipped the PS4 version. But yeah, like I don't know, to wrap it back, like obviously Baldur's Gate won Game of the Year. That is a horrible like Twitch game. Like even in its heyday, like right after it launched, like that's just not a fun game to watch someone play. So I get your point. Obviously single player games don't have the longevity, but like we said, I mean, that's just what a lot of the good games were this year. There really weren't many good multiplayer games this year. I mean,
but and you see what we're saying, we're saying, oh, that game was good, but it didn't have, it doesn't have good Twitch viewership, or that game was good, but it's not a very replayable game. The games from 07, there was a lot, that were good games to watch on Twitch if Twitch is around
play
then.
by yourself.
And and there was a lot of replayability to them. So
I do want to say, Baldur's Gate 3's co-op is probably underrated. Like it's actually a really good multiplayer experience, and I think a lot of more people would have fun with the game if they tried it that way.
I played through most of that game with my wife. It feels, the way that they integrated it, like your character is your own single player, so you can like just fuck off sometimes and go like do your own thing.
Oh, really?
And like the way that it like splits up and how characters talk to you, it's really good, because I feel like a lot of the times like those co-op games, you're like, oh my, can you come over here? We got to go do this thing. You never have to do that in the game.
Huh, that's interesting. I never tried the co-op, so I should have maybe, but All right, Jared, what's a
I'm
game?
down to replay.
I mean, we could.
Well,
I'd play
obviously,
it. Yeah,
the BXR podcast, Baldur's Gate playthrough, calling it now. But anyway,
I mean, it'd be
Starfield was
fun.
disappointing.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, I still loved the game. For me personally, I know a lot of people hate it, but I enjoyed the game. But it was disappointing in the fact that it should have been so much better than what it was. They tried to make it too big. It didn't need randomly generated planets or anything like that. It needed to just be set in the solar system. That's it. Have a couple
Yep.
planets that are very well fleshed out that you could, travel around the whole planet or whatever. Just anything like that would have been 10 times better. And I think it would have been received way better because I know a lot of people like to say, oh, people are just hating on the game. No, the game has legitimate issues. There is an ungodly amount of fast traveling or loading screens. Yes, they're like a second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, but it's pointless. Why do I need to go across the galaxy to go from one location to the other where you should
Yeah.
just be in the same planet while I'm doing my quest? Like I want that. It's like Skyrim. Why was Skyrim so good? Why can't people understand that it was nice walking out of the city, walking across the land, fighting things, finding people to do quests for? Oh, here's a random cave I'm going to walk into now. There's my loading screen. But I did so much before that with no loading
Yeah.
screen. So it's like that drove me nuts about Starfield. And then there's one other game that I was disappointed. Okay, this is going to surprise BK probably. And it's one of the best games I played this year, but it's Tears of the Kingdom because of one reason, and that's how they tell the story. It's garbage how they tell the story because so many people saw the story out of order because it's randomly spread out across the land, and you're supposed to like go to these glyphs, find the whatever deal and get the memory to see the story unfold, but you could do it out of order. And there is a
But the
location
story's
where they
ass.
have like they have stone tablets that I like the story.
Zelda games have stories.
But they
Exactly.
for Zelda, I thought it was a good story. But they have a stone tablet that shows you the order you're supposed to collect everything in. But 99% of people miss that. It's so many people saw story moments out of focus or out of order, and to me that would ruin the big surprise at the end pertaining to Zelda in the game for the people who don't know. So it's like, I don't know. I hated that part of the game, and to me that's why it couldn't win Game of the Year. Like to me, I'd choose Resident Evil Remake over it just because to me, that's such a terrible oversight. Like that should just be part of the game. Like if that was just part of the game as Link went around and did stuff, and it was naturally fed to the player in a more like interesting way, it'd make the game 10 times better from a story perspective. But
I speed ran to the Master Sword, and I was looking up a guide, and the guy just instantly spoiled it for me. And I was like, that's fucking stupid. And then I stopped playing the game.
This man is guides.
That game sucked.
I purchased Breath of the Wild with the intention to play Breath of the Wild and then play Tears of the Kingdom. And Tears of the Kingdom's still in the plastic wrapper, so that was a good use of $60.
This year is you should keep track of every game you buy and don't complete, and make a list at the end of the year, and rank them.
They get awards at the end of the year.
Like the most to the least.
Dude, at one point I was looking for last year of all like games that I had completed, and like MW3 the campaign, because it's like 3 hours, so like I just sat down and beat it. I played through the Saints Row game, but that was purely because I was doing a video. And I think that might be the only games that I finished in the entire year. Like everything else I would play for like, well, it depended on the game. Like Baldur's Gate was like 10 hours, but like a lot of games it was like 4 or 5 hours, and I kind of stopped playing them. And yeah, I would have to go back and see if there was any other games that I got further. I really don't. I don't think there was. Like,
I think I finished less games than you actually.
Hell yeah.
I think I only finished Persona 5 this year. Last year, nothing else. I think everything else I just quit.
I don't know. It's hard because I feel if I had more time, I would finish more games. But like, I almost didn't mind that I didn't finish a lot of games because I get like for most years before this last year, I would just play a handful of multiplayer games the whole year long. So like I feel like this past year I tried a lot of single player games, and sure I didn't finish them, but like I played enough of all of them to like get the gist of the game, decide if I liked it or not. Like Hi-Fi Rush, like cool game. I played it for 4 or 5 hours and realized that I didn't really like it. Like I didn't want to finish that one, right? Whereas there's like other games where like I was enjoying it and I probably would have finished it had I had more time, but I just like I don't know. If I didn't have a full-time job and like trying to do other stuff, maybe I would finish more shit. But at the same time, I say that, and then like how many hours recently have I played the fucking shit Call of Duty game? So like this is like a shitty excuse. So like I think I'm max level. I fucking finished the battle pass. So I don't know, you know? Like I did start playing I won't talk about it too much, but I did start playing the first Ghost Runner. Good game. I plan on trying to finish it. We'll see if it happens.
Wow, that's
It's not that long. It's
like 6 or 7 hours. So I think I probably finish it tomorrow. but yeah, it's a pretty fun game. But yeah, BK, what's a game that disappointed you?
God, there's too many.
Too
many to name.
Pick one, and we can do a little wrap around. And when we run out of time, we stop.
Spider-Man 2.
Let me look at my. You come back. You come back to me.
All right, Luke.
Okay.
You got one?
I'd say Atomic Heart.
Dude, that's on my list.
The game, really cool setting, really unique. I was like amazed when I heard of the game, like because like I don't know, it's a setting I'd never seen, like futuristic USSR. What the hell? It's a crazy setting. But like I got 6 hours into the game, it just got so repetitive with its stupid ass puzzle.
Yeah.
And the dialogue was kind of, you know, it just was annoying after a while. I don't remember. There was like one line that kept getting repeated. And I was like, what the fuck? Like I cringed every time. And just like I don't know. I just gave up on the game, and
dude,
it had so much potential.
So I remember like seeing the trailers for that game, and I think like I almost feel like their marketing was bad, but the trailers made it seem like futuristic USSR Doom with the combat, and it seemed really cool. And then you go to play it, and it's much more puzzly. And like the puzzles were okay at first, but then they just get pretty repetitive and boring. Like none of them are that complicated. They're just like a lot of like moving pieces around. And then the combat was also pretty shit because it was basically like 2 enemy types, if I remember correctly. It was like regular robot and like other robot. And
yeah,
like,
it wasn't that.
And so I think I only got like 3 or 4 hours in, and I got bored, and then I just never went back. And so that was another one of those games where it's like I got my fill of it. I didn't want to finish it. Like
yeah.
So I don't know, but yeah, that was actually a game I was like kind of disappointed about because it seemed really cool and it was on like Game Pass. So I was like, oh, sick. And then I played it and it was like, it was all right, but nothing.
The way I see it is, if a game is good, I'll finish it. You know, that's it.
Yeah,
Oh man.
I feel that.
Sometimes I think games are good though, and for some reason I just don't finish them. Like I think Hogwarts Legacy is a good game, but I've never finished it. I play it and I go, all right, that's enough. You know?
Yeah, but there's like, how do I say this? There's like 4 categories of games, right? There's like good, entertaining games. There's good, boring games. There's bad, entertaining games, and there's bad, boring games. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And bad, boring, and good, boring is like the worst.
I would say Hogwarts Legacy might be good boring, honestly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like a boring game, whether it's good or bad, is like worse than a bad entertaining game or a good entertaining game. So I think a lot of games fall into that. I don't know. Also, like, isn't Hogwarts Legacy like long, like 80 hours or something?
I have that with a lot of games. Like I had that with Starfield as well, where I put 40 hours into it, and I was like, okay, well, I guess this game's just never fucking ending. Hogwarts Legacy, I think I have 30 hours into it. It's too much.
I played it for like 12 and I gave up. Also, I'm not that big of a Potterhead.
Grind.
Yeah.
Just
Actually, I
grind
played
through
for
the game
7.
no
I
matter
lied.
what.
I just looked it up. No.
Well, I found my disappointing game of the year, which is weird because I've only recently been playing it. It's Jedi Survivor, and I think a lot of people have had this issue with it. I love Dark Souls games, and it's sort of like a Dark Souls game, but like it tries to be like really broad and appeal, and it's also suffering from fucking long game syndrome. I am 10 hours in and just got to the plot.
What?
Like, it's so weird because I think Disney might be trying to restrict like what's canon Star Wars because everything now that's in Star Wars is considered canon. I was playing it and the main character like barely talks and barely anything has been happening. They basically are like, all right, well the story is Star Wars. You have a lightsaber. Yeah, and then for 10 hours I was just going around killing stormtroopers and fucking droids and shit. And you know, it's okay. It's a good game. I've actually been enjoying it, but like disappointing that it's a Star Wars game and it has a shit story like this. Like there's nothing happening. I can't think of another game where the single player is non-existent. Like unless it's an actual like a Doom type game, you know, like when you're playing Doom, like you don't expect Doom guy to talk. That's what the game is like.
I think he says a couple things.
Well, I guess actually, I think people didn't like that in Doom Eternal, the fact that he was kind of yapping.
I still need to beat Doom Eternal.
I don't remember if he yapped that much. I think they were just kind of like ready to kill. Like just cheesy ass fucking one.
I mean, what is it with guys in big green armor yapping too much, dude?
Yeah, exactly. You get a one blue girlfriend, they won't shut up.
I want to go back.
Horny for his VR waifu. Sorry.
I want to go back and play the Doom Eternal DLC, but like it's been so long since I played Doom Eternal. I feel like I need to replay the single player. I don't want to commit to playing 20 hours of the single player again. So I just don't play.
Yeah,
DLC.
I got to the boss or to the enemy with like the sword, like the Marauder.
Oh yeah,
and like it was bullshit, and I never went back.
When Doom Eternal came out, those things fucking pissed me off. I'll stand by it to this day. Those are badly designed enemies. I understand like skill issue. Those are just badly designed.
I don't know.
Enemies.
I'm just playing Doom. I'm just trying to fucking run and shoot.
Yeah.
Like
Here's
what the fuck?
a whole video on YouTube from a guy explaining
why am I playing
why
Elden
they
Ring all
are
of a sudden?
good enemies and how people who reviewed the game made a lot of mistakes about the encounter with.
I mean,
them.
sure, but like, I'm sure I can find a YouTube video on why, like,
yeah, but no, like
the horrendous historic thing
like,
was good.
Like
they
randomly shoot out those fireball things or whatever, and they don't randomly do it. They do it when you do certain mechanics.
Yeah, bad
and,
gameplay design.
They were just random.
Yeah, the Marauder reacts to what you're doing. Like it does certain, like some things that seem randomish are specifically when you're like close or far, if you do this. But yeah, what BK's saying, if that many people had a problem with it, they are badly designed. I don't care
obviously.
if like you can point out that it does this and that's fine. But if most people think they're bad, they're just bad. Like that said,
yeah, maybe
Doom Eternal
the game
was a great game.
Well, do you think
it
it'd be
happens
one
a
of
lot
those
in
things?
games.
Would it be so bad if there was less of them?
Probably.
Like, it was just
I think if you fought like a couple occasionally, it wouldn't be that bad. But like after you hit the first one, they pop up a lot, and then there's like sections later in the game where there's like multiple of them at the same time. They're just fucking annoying. Like toward the end of the game, like when one would pop up, I would just be annoyed. Like, and the rest of the game is like fun, satisfying Doom. Like I feel like a fucking badass. And then the Marauder comes up, and I have to fucking finagle it to do any goddamn damage because they're invincible unless you do certain things. It's like I don't know. In a different game, maybe they would have felt great, but like in Doom, like especially like coming off Doom 2016, where the whole game is just like high paced, fast action. You feel like a
fluid,
fucking
hardcore
badass.
music.
Yeah.
Shit's good. Yeah.
And then
like
the
that's what I wanted
comes
from
and
Doom
just
Eternal.
shits on your day.
Yeah, and then it's like I hit like a fucking roadblock with the Marauder. I hit like the fucking wall at like 200 miles an hour with the fucking Marauder, dude. When in the fucking history of Doom had you have to look up a guide to beat a Doom enemy? You just fucking run and shoot. That's how the fucking enemies die. Sometimes you dodge a little left and right. You don't do some fucking Elden Ring setup to beat a Doom enemy. What the fuck, dude?
I think gameplay designers were trying to over-design the game. I think the whole point of that game is the power fantasy and the rip and tear shit. Like the same thing happened with the Avengers game where Hulk has to punch some random grunt like 6 times. I want Hulk to rip a dude in half. Like if I want to play Doom, I just want to kill demons and not have to be like I'm like a weak pussy. Like Halo, the Halo games do a good job. They give you 100 grunts to pop in the head, and they literally pop confetti. You know, let me feel strong.
I think that's why I prefer. Like I think that's why I think Doom 2016 was better than Eternal, because like the whole game through 2016 the full way through, you just feel like a fucking badass. You're just full guns blazing. And then in Eternal has the problem too, where you like run out of ammo way more often, so you're like constantly switching to like shittier guns, and that was on purpose. But it's like, bro, like I want to use the same shit. Like I just want to have a grand old fucking time. And the dash and stuff, like some of the abilities they added were cool, but I don't know.
They added right with Doom 2016, and they tried to over-engineer it with Doom Eternal, and I think that kind of flopped.
I think.
And I mean, hopefully, I hope they can take that feedback.
To add to it.
Right, but like sometimes you just need to leave the formula alone and just keep, maybe like evolving it in different ways, but not like that. I don't know. I hope they can take that feedback and Doom 3 or Doom Internal or whatever the fuck it's gonna be called.
Doom Infinite.
Doom Infinite or whatever. It's gonna go back.
Isn't the next rumored one a Quake single player game?
Please leave Quake fucking in the grave, dude. What the fuck are they doing with Quake? Dude? I'm losing my mind, dude.
Quake Champions did so well, so
just leave Quake alone. Nobody gives a fuck. Make another Doom game.
Off. They canceled the Quake Pro League, so it's doing pretty good.
Did you guys remember back in the day when people had like the Quake stands, like the pro players? They would have the keyboard on their lap and then the mouse on the table, and like it would be like over each other. That was like the way to play Quake back in the day. Yeah, because you could like be vertical with the computer monitor. Yeah, I don't know. So there's still some pros that play like that. It's crazy, but
Quake pros are built different.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, I think they cancel Quake Champions, but a lot of Quake Champions pros just play normal now. But it used to be a thing.
They're back to.
But
Quake
I don't
5.
know. Yeah, just leave Quake alone. I don't fucking.
What's
the next? I gotta make an Unreal Tournament campaign. Who the fuck wants that shit, dude? That shit wasn't even that good back in the day. Like it was like something that was just there.
The actual
because like there wasn't a big market. It was just like
dying of old age.
Yeah,
honestly, boomers.
Honestly, like for the fucking last Quake player, in the retirement home has got to be happy. But I don't know, dude. These some of these franchises were just like. They just filled the gap because there wasn't that many games back then.
Luke, what you just said about Quake, I bet you a bunch of kids are saying that about Halo today,
So they're
saying that about Halo. Leave that shit alone. It's dead, dude. Fuck, dude. They haven't made a good game. This franchise has been shit longer than it's been good. Dude, that's all I'm going to say, sorry.
It's too real.
I mean, it is. It is what it is. Just let it go.
Once a month across my Twitter feed, it's just like a circle where like once a month cyclically someone has to tweet some shit about how Halo 3 was good. And like recently there's that clip from Nated where he's just sniping people, and then like so many people quote tweeted that like, oh fucking yeah, Halo 3. So obviously I did too. But like I love it. It's just like it's monthly at this point. Like you just have to get your monthly fix of like, man, wasn't Halo 3 fucking good? And then you go back to like not playing it.
But like I get that with that game, because it's like when you go back and play that, it's like, damn, this game feels good compared to like anything else. Like,
yeah,
it's just.
Ratchet's gonna put it in his bio. I commented.
I think it's like,
I miss Halo 3. Yeah, you guys say I miss Halo 3 every fucking podcast.
Halo 3 clips over any other clips from any other Halo, except for maybe Halo 2, maybe Halo 1 too, but I don't know.
All right. I'll do a game that disappointed me, and then maybe we can we'll quickly do games we're excited for, and we can wrap up. All right. Game that disappointed me: Counter-Strike 2. All right. So here's the thing. I understand the game is going to get better, and I think give it a year or two, and Counter-Strike will be perfectly fine. I don't think it's dying or anything like that. That said, like we talked about earlier, Counter-Strike 2 could have been fucking massive. Like, not only is it the new Counter-Strike game after Counter-Strike Go has been very successful for the past like 10, 12 years or whatever, it had an additional player base that it could tap into with all the stupid Valorant kids that had never played that style of shooter until Valorant. And all of those kids tried fucking Counter-Strike 2, and probably none of them stayed. Because, like, Counter-Strike 2 did nothing to innovate. Like,
have you played matchmaking? Dude, there's all these Valorant kids. I hear
are they still there?
Right,
maybe
I don't
stayed. Maybe some stayed. But, like, here's the thing. Counter-Strike 2 for me, like, the Counter-Strike the game, it's great. You don't touch the core gameplay of Counter-Strike. Like, you maybe, you add a smoke that you can shoot through and it disappears a little bit. Like, you can do little things like that, and that's fine. But like the core gameplay, Counter-Strike's just fucking goated. You leave it alone, right? they could have revamped the matchmaking experience in such a better way, but Prime fucking blows. Like, I don't understand. Like, you have Valorant, and you can see what a good ranked matchmaking system looks like, and then Valve just rolls out this piece of shit, and they're like, hey, I mean, it's a little better than Counter-Strike Go, and it is a little better, but like the numbers are fucking irrelevant. Like, when the lobbies are still super one-sided sometimes. Like, I don't know. The matchmaking experience alone is so underwhelming, and then there's like the whole sub-tick issue, which like I don't really know enough about to get angry about, but like I don't understand why they locked out third-party servers from doing 128 tick, because like they did it through all of CS:GO because Valve didn't want to, and like I get, you know, like 64 tick is the way Valve thinks CS should be played or whatever, but I don't know, man. CS2 could have been so much better than it is, and like I still think it's fun. Like I haven't played it recently, but like I'll probably play it this year a fair amount. Like every year, it ends up being one of my most played games. But I don't know. I feel they could have done so much more, and it just feels like. Also, the fact that they took out, I understand like most of the shit in Counter-Strike Go people weren't playing, but like they took out so much content from CS:GO, and just like there's nothing new. Like they lowered the map count, they lowered the game modes, they lowered the different things you could do. For a long time, community servers didn't even work properly, and it's like it just felt like I was like we talked about earlier. It was just like a half-finished thing. It's just a beta, and it's like this was the full big release for Counter-Strike 2, and it's like I kind of get like Valve's motto is just like different than anyone else in the world, and they just like think differently, but I don't know. Counter-Strike 2 could have been so cool. But all right, well, let's do games we're excited for in this year. We'll just do, let's see. We'll do one each.
Counter-Strike 2.
I mean, fair enough. But we'll do one each, and then we can say goodbye. Luke, what's something you're excited for this year?
It's called like Metaphor Ray Fantasio or something. It's like it's like by the Persona game? People. Yeah, it's like a steampunk style. Also, the Persona 3 remake is coming out in a month. I guess it's 2 games, but yeah, both of those I think are gonna be amazing. So yeah, I'm looking forward to those.
Mr. PopQ.
Well, I'm gonna do 3.
All right.
Run through them real quick.
No, that's fine.
X Defiant, if it ever comes out.
If.
Stalker 2. Never played a Stalker game, but they've always looked interesting to me, and so did Stalker 2.
They've aged very well. I've actually.
I was about to say they aged like fucking shit, dude. I played one recently. I was like, what the fuck, dude? How did I play this when I was like 13? Dude? Shadow of Chernobyl.
Yeah, that one didn't age as well. Call of Pripyat aged very well, I think.
Oh, maybe. Okay, maybe I need to play different. But I was like, how the fuck did I play this back?
Well,
so, the Stalker games always look cool to me. And then the third game was the MGS3 remake.
Oh god, what? Maybe.
Was that coming to all platforms, by the way?
I think so.
I think so. Yeah.
Cool. That might be really amazing if it's like MGS5's engine, because MGS5, the movement, that's got to be one of the best feeling games of all time. If they just put that in MGS3, masterpiece, best game ever made. I have a feeling though it's just going to be a clunky HD remake shit game with like better lighting.
I mean, it could be shit. It is Konami, and they kind of fucked up the remaster of the old games recently. So, yeah, can't get too excited about it. But it is MGS3, so if they don't touch it too much, then it'll be fine. Should be fine.
I have never played a Metal Gear game.
Oh my god!
I've tried every single one of them, and I didn't get past the first one.
Oh my god!
Yeah, you guys are gross.
If you played,
Rash, if you played Ground Zeroes, I think it's like got to be $10, and you can beat it in, I think, 30 minutes if you know what you're doing. It's like a 3-hour game, like with some replayability. If you like that, then you can probably go back and play the other ones. But I would say Ground Zeroes is a fun place to start. Because the gameplay they polish so much.
Did you play Death Stranding?
No, that did not look like.
Okay, I was gonna say you better not have played Death Stranding, but not played any of the
Metal Gear looks like a fun game. Death Stranding, like interesting artistic endeavors, sure. Good video game, I don't want to walk around for fucking 20
that shit's
hours.
made for the Star Citizen enjoyers.
There's gotta be
Time to go
avant-garde
fucking
games. Soon.
commute.
All right, Jared, what are we excited for this year?
Well, let's see here. There's a crap ton of games I want to play, but I think the two I'm most excited for is Senua's Sagas or Hellblade 2.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's going to be a really, really good game because the first one was really good. The combat wasn't nothing to really write home about. Like,
What
it was
is it?
good combat.
What does
but-
it play like? I never saw gameplay of it. I wonder.
I guess kind of like, I want to say God of War a little bit, but like
Okay.
tamed
A
down,
modern
like
God of
to
War?
a more basic level. Yeah, modern God of War, like a little bit like that. It has an interesting kind of like a dodge and attack system that, I mean, it gets the job done. If they approve on it, really, I think it'd be really cool. But like, just from like the art style and the audio and the puzzles and the way they done stuff like that in the game, it was a really good game from that perspective. With some kind of interesting, I guess, boss fights, if you want to call them that. And then, of course, Dragon's Dogma 2, which I think is going to be the Elden Ring of this year. That's right. I'm
Is
putting
that
the
coming
flag
out
down.
this year?
It comes out in March. The 26th.
What about the Elden Ring DLC? That's
Yeah, it's
coming out
about,
this year.
that was my
That'll
most
be the
interesting
Elden
game.
Ring.
I-
of
Oh,
this
I'm-
year.
sorry.
We don't have a release date yet, so I'm not putting that on this list. But if it comes out this year, I'll be fucking excited. But no, Dragon's Dogma 2, the original one is criminally underrated. I will make a video about it sometime in the next 2 months, but it's an amazing game. I think it got overshadowed because it came out around the same time Skyrim came out, which, you know, that just destroyed the internet back then. So it just, a lot of people played it. But I just think from a gameplay perspective, it's an incredible game. It lets you do a lot of stuff. And the boss fights are just some of the best out of just any game. And it looks like Dragon's Dogma 2 is just the exact same thing, but better. So I'm pumped. And hopefully the story is better because the story was shit in the first game.
Well,
enough.
I would say I have one Black Myth Wukong. I am
Oh,
so
fuck,
excited for
yeah.
that game. It's crazy how large China is and how few games we have with their cool mythology that are like, you know, not
I
gotcha
mean,
games.
Wukong is in League of Legends, dude. Has been for 10 years.
What
You know, he was
what
also in
country was
Paragon.
like Dynasty Warriors set in? Isn't that China?
Well, yeah, that's not like really Chinese myth though. I mean, this is like, you know.
Yeah,
But
but
this
those
is-
games are
like
great. You know,
the-
I was just a
the gods
person, and
and
you'd
stuff.
fucking kill hordes of people. Great games.
I mean, there's actually a surprising lack of games that are even set in China, and it has a rich history. It was, you know, a country doing shit back then, and I'm cool to be a monkey man in a Dark Souls-esque game if they can pull it off. But the thing is, I'm an admitted Dark Souls kid, and once you become a Dark Souls kid, you're like such a wine snob with these Souls likes. And they have to be perfect. And if it comes out and it's not perfect, Jared, you know what I'm talking about, right? You get the
I hate
snobbery.
Lords of the Fallen, man.
Yeah,
that
you-
game is garbage.
I'm
It
sure it's a
is.
good
I-
game, but like once you get a taste of the good stuff, you can't play those games.
Yeah. Well, it's just like, and it's one of the only games this year I played and then didn't finish. It's like 1 of 5. So
Jared's the
That's
polar
actually
opposite of
surprising.
me.
Yeah, he's like the negative
He's
Mirage.
the anti Arash.
It's like
Well, there's
Mario and
90
Wario
some
out
games
there.
this year, man. I spent like 3,000 hours grinding, and that was not one of them.
I mean, I'm sure I
Who's
spent
the-
a fuck ton of hours playing games. I think it all fell into some shit multiplayer game throughout the year, whether it was fucking CS2
CS.
or Halo or fucking
But
COD.
that's the thing, right? You'll play a game, you'll be like, man, this is shit. I know how I feel about it. I'm gonna stop here. I'm like, you know what? What's another 10 or 20 hours? Let's just go a little further and just
I mean,
see if it gets better.
totally fair, because I've still been playing COD, and the whole time I just bitch about it. So, you know, I have no leg to stand on. I just bitch about
Sometimes you just play
multiplayer
games
stuff.
to be miserable.
Yeah, I
Hey,
like
man,
being
I wish I
sad.
could play COD with you, but I keep lagging everywhere.
Yeah, I haven't been playing it as much anymore because BK stopped playing with me, so I don't have anyone to play with. So
I
Sure.
might get back on it. I've just been enjoying. You know what? I'll bust them out. I have these dorky ass AR glasses, and I can't really play multiplayer games in them. Yeah, I won't even put them on because it looks so bad. But the screen coming through these things looks amazing.
Yeah.
So I've just been going back and playing. I just re-downloaded Stalker. I'm gonna go back and play Metro. I've been playing that Star Wars game, but I'll play COD again.
Jared, I'll let you know if I finish Ghost Runner. I'll let you know. I probably won't.
Hell yeah! Then you can start number 2.
Even though, well, I want to play the second one because the first one's actually like surprisingly pretty fun. So I want to finish it and then play the second one. So we'll see if it happens. But it is me. So
I'll be waiting for the videos on them.
I don't know. Do I do a video? I don't know if I like. See, that's the whole thing. Then it becomes like a whole fucking time investment. And I don't know.
I don't know if there's the audience for you to make a Ghost Runner video.
Probably not.
I don't know if they have like enough of the like. If you made them on launch, maybe when people were like searching if they should buy it, but I don't know if there's much of a like a. It's not like a big IP where people are like constantly thinking about it. I don't know, but
it's one of those
then again, there's like YouTubers that I follow that will put out a video on some random ass indie like shooter and it does millions of views. So I think it's just the video. I don't know.
Or it's just like YouTubers with big audiences.
Well, that's true. They are
being able to do whatever they want. I mean,
yeah. Fair point. All right. Anything else, BK?
No, I'm. Well, there's skull and crossbones, whatever the hell it's called. I'm excited to see how much.
I'm excited to see what it turns out to be.
I'm excited to see Twitter's reaction to it. That's what I'm anticipating. I love how much some games are getting clowned on these days.
It's a very unique story. Like,
yeah, it is. I see so many people who were playing like that beta or wherever it was. Like, oh, this is so much better than I thought it was going to be. Everyone should play this when it launches. I'm like, okay, is it actually good, or are you getting paid to say it's good? I need to know. This game can't actually come out and be good, can it?
I'm fairly sure to get into the beta, you had to be part of the Ubisoft Creator Program. So I don't know if that answered the question. So
no, I got
in which case you're incentivized because you're like one of 10 people releasing a video.
I don't think I am. I'm just in the normal Ubisoft beta in my account.
No, if you've ever been invited to like a pre-alpha, they'll just keep inviting you. So
yeah, I played a bunch of Ubisoft pre-alphas over the years, I guess.
Yeah,
did you know EA charges you to do that?
They charge you, like they charge the person?
Well, I guess it's slightly NDA, so I'll shut my mouth.
Right, yeah.
They have a beta program that you can Google.
Who the fuck would pay for that?
I
don't know. People paying out here for Star Citizen.
It's a game now.
I want to pay a company to fucking playtest their game for them. That's how this works. They don't fucking value my time in the slightest. All right,
you can win gift cards.
What? They give you gift cards?
You can win them.
That's great. All right. So I'm actually pretty excited for the Prince of Persia game coming out later this month. Because I don't know, it's Prince of Persia. Like we haven't had a Prince of Persia game in forever. I think it actually looks kind of cool. Like I'm not really a huge platformer person, but like it looks like they actually did something fairly interesting with it. So I'm excited to see it. Hopefully it's pretty good. But I think the game I'm probably most excited for this year is Space Marine 2. Like the first game was so much fun. It was like a third person action game, and I know nothing about fucking Warhammer, but it's just like one of those games where you just fucking feel like a badass, like chainsawing people, and like you have all, like it's got like a fun melee system and a gun system. There's just like a lot of fun. So like I'm pretty excited for it. It's obviously the first one came out like back on the 360, so will this one? I don't know. Like I don't know if that's aged that well, if it hasn't changed much, but I'm excited to check it out. And then the Helldivers 2 comes out, I think like later this month or next month. That looks pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's
February
mid-February.
8th, I think.
So I plan on checking that one out. But I think the
first one was fun.
Yeah, I think that's about it for things I'm excited for this year. I'm hoping to hear about some things. Like I want to hear what the fuck they're doing with the Gears franchise, or like some of the Xbox shit in general. I just want to hear like if shit's just dead. Like the Perfect Dark game, is that ever coming?
Oh yeah.
Like I would have loved to play it. Maybe I don't know.
That was on my radar.
So like I don't know if that's ever coming. Like I hear about that, and then like I don't know. I mean, if we actually officially hear what they're working on next would be pretty cool because like in the Xbox leak things there was shit in there, but there was also like I don't know how right it is because like it leaked that Arcane was working on Dishonored 3, but then they revealed Blade. So like I don't know if those leaks are like totally accurate.
Are they working on Blade though? Like,
or they're just fucking revealing it just to say that they thought they're thinking about it in the future.
I hate that shit. Every game should launch how Fallout 4 did, where they're like, "Hey, you guys like Fallout? It comes out in 3 months. Yeah, get hyped," and then it sold well.
Isn't the reason though that they do that so early so they can make the game official, so they can start hiring people interested?
I thought that's exactly why, because isn't that one of the reasons Redfall sucked? Because like the company had only made immersive sims, and they were trying to hire for Redfall, and all the people that applied wanted to work on like Prey 2, and they're like. But they can't put that on the on the job description because obviously if you do that then it leaks what you're making. So you have all these people showing up like, oh, I'd love to make an immersive sim, and you're just sitting there like, no, you're actually making a shitty co-op vampire game. So
I have another great concept that works the same way. You have the studio, not an Xbox. You have the studio that make great racing games, right? And now you have to make like a fantasy game, like a fairy tale. You could call it like a Fable type game. You know what I mean? And they'll be great. It'll not be another Redfall, dude.
If you're good devs, though, you could probably make any game good. If you're good devs.
Yeah, but if you work at Xbox, you're probably not.
Going from cars to that, like that's a huge step up.
I gotta be honest, I find that as a shitty excuse. They're fucking owned by Xbox. Like, surely Xbox can move some people around and get someone that can make
it's management issues at Xbox, honestly. Like, no vision on these games.
Yeah, the fact that 343 hasn't been dissolved. Then when they're under new management.
Hey, this year is going to be the big. This year's the big comeback for Halo. All right, you just wait. In September, on the podcast, it'll be back to a Halo podcast. We'll all be playing. Pop Q will be on daily grinding rank, 24-hour streams. He'll be ready to go.
If Halo has no more haters, I am dead. That's all I have to say.
What happened with that certain affinity mode? I forgot that was
that shit's dead.
It's just fake, dude. It was just some Twitter journalists. Fuck those Twitter journalists. I hate those. I'm about to fucking just shut up.
Yeah, where's the Battle Royale?
It came out. It came out in the custom game browser. So just go check it out.
343. They're waiting for Battle Royales to be irrelevant to release the Battle Royale.
Dude, I think they are. I mean, like new ones are kind of irrelevant, but.
Don't you guys love it that there's like these journalists that like do all this fake positive shit so they can get a goodie bag once a year from Xbox? That's crazy, dude. That's
but those goodie bags look pretty sick.
Yeah.
The people
those
who get the COD
probably
ones
have checks in them.
The 343 never sent me a Halo goodie bag or a Halo chair. So I'm just saying, like, I think I fucked up.
That's crazy.
I don't know. I think you did everything right if you haven't been sent one of those.
Luke, did you guys get one?
No. So we barely got into the we got the review copy for we didn't even get to the early access for
you guys had to like fucking
we got the review copy with IGN and shit. Yeah.
You guys got fucked.
Which is okay because like I don't know, I feel like a lot of these people compromise their integrity and like I don't know, there's fake positivity. I don't know. I just don't.
It's strange because Halo is niche now. So aren't you guys? Now that I think about it, wouldn't you guys be like probably the biggest Halo champ?
Yes. And then you go into the 3 employees chat and they're like, "Who the fuck is Rocket's Love, dude?" But we're like the second or third biggest Halo channel. Like, I don't know, dude. They don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck anymore.
Bigger?
Hey.
I can't think of anyone.
Hidden Xperia.
Halo Folio, Hidden Xperia.
I would say just Hidden Xperia. Like Halo Follower, maybe, and then Mint Blitz, like
Subcone.
Mint Blitz isn't bigger, but also like totally different style of fucking video there. But sure, like whatever. Like I get, sure, but. Yeah, those.
I mean, you could call what you want.
Those
you
three
had the
are
lore
arguably
guy,
the ones, right?
You had the lore guy, you had the news guy, and you had the Mint Blitz clip guy, and those are the big three.
I didn't even. I just looked up how many subs Hidden Xperia had. We've played games with him. I had no idea. I thought he had like 15K subs.
What?
Did not realize he has a big channel. Whoops.
No, he's
Oh, he's
a big
massive.
channel. Yeah.
He's a big channel. I do love, I mean, Luke is super nice, but I love his yearly, it hasn't come out recently. Usually like once a year he'll tweet about how he's really going to do variety and he's going to give it a true go. And then he'll just release like 4 or 5 Halo videos in a row.
Yo, let me put you guys on, and I've talked to people that work at YouTube about this, right? If you pivot, you need to do the hard cut. If you go back to Halo, you fuck your channel. Like, you just fuck it. Every time you go back after the pivot, you just completely fuck up your channel, like 100% of the time. You just need to hard pivot and stick with it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But like, you cannot do this like half-assed.
I think Elijah with his Animal Crossing shit's probably the only way that you guys could have gotten into variety, and even then, that's a single game.
I mean, yes, but I mean, Nintendo do it. It's its own universe. It's hard to like. I don't know. But like, if we did we tried doing a Pokemon channel, right, and that didn't really work out because it's so saturated. So we kind of had to, the Animal Crossing niche is very good. I think Elijah's been doing great work on the channel, and I don't know. We just needed to hard pivot. You cannot do the half-baked stuff.
I agree with you most of the time, but there's like, I think once you hit a certain point, you can clearly like Jack Frags, like he's a Battlefield YouTuber, but he also does other shit now.
But that's different. But yeah, but he outgrew his Battlefield.
He like turns back up for every fucking Battlefield update, right?
Right, but you need to outgrow the Halo first before you can go back, and that takes like years.
This is actually interesting, right? Because I had like 500 and some Halo videos, right? And then I started doing reviews. And then I got like some copyright things with my Halo videos. And then I ended up removing all of my Halo videos.
I forgot.
And when I did that, all of my reviews just started surging in views. Like, sure, like not a lot here, but it's like
back.
No, it's like 30, it is true. Like,
it's like 30 here, 50 here. It's like the YouTube algorithm or YouTube materials. Like, all right, this guy's a variety guy. Just push it everywhere. So it's like, okay, well, that was oddly beneficial to me.
Yeah, that's why I get sad when I look at Arash's channel, because he does some good videos sometimes. But then I see a Halo video and I'm like, he just ruined any work he did.
My shit's dead. I don't know. I had like 2 or 3 videos that did super well last year. Like one of them has,
and then you did a Halo video and you ruined it. Like,
it was an interesting Halo video is the problem.
But I'm saying it's not too late. Just stop making Halo videos. Just pivot away from it. There's no point, dude. If you want to make a Halo video, here's what you do. You write it down on the paper, you burn that paper, you never think about it again.
Like, if it makes you feel better, I have no more plans for like actual main channel Halo videos. Because like,
how long is that gonna last? I feel like you've said that to me before.
Well, in the past, I was turning back up for the new seasons and shit. But if I do that, I'll just throw it on the fucking the slop channel.
I mean, yes, that's fine. But like,
dude, that's the best part now on my second channel is all the trash that I used to upload on my main channel. I just upload it there. Like, I just open some video game and play it for 30 minutes and edit it. And I used to put that on my main channel. Now I just throw that over there. And if it gets 100 views, nobody's sad about it because I don't even fucking pay attention to the view count. So, but
I mean, that's fine. I mean,
I don't know. We'll see. I think my YouTube plan for this year is one high quality, not Halo video, like fully scripted thing per month, and we'll see what happens. And then, as long if it can just get back to the point where it funds itself, will be good. Because like right now they're a losing endeavor.
So Rush, if you go a year without making a Halo video on that channel, I'll give you a coin.
All right,
like AA.
Well,
one Bitcoin. That's a $50,000 bet.
Like a coin, any coin.
A coin.
I'll make a coin. Custom coin.
But yeah, we'll see. I mean, the one I'm working on now has nothing to do with Halo at all. So we'll see. I gotta.
Can you say it?
Yeah, I'm basically working on a video about how like battle royales have turned into like respawn video games, and like they're basically like it's the same genre, but they're almost nothing like how they started. And I don't know. It's funny because like the whole thing about battle royale was like, respawn games are dead, and it's like, are they? You fucking turned all the battle royales into them. So
I see. Yeah.
Yeah, you can come back like fucking 8 times.
Dude, in Warzone this year, holy shit. You fucking just get a respawn token, there's a gulag token, there's fucking
there's the worst one.
Because
when we're
it's
in like 3 players and we're killing teams and we just keep rotating into a zone, you keep seeing the same fucking Nicki Minaj skin and her teammate, and they just keep buying them, and they come back from like 10 gulags, and then it's actually annoying because you don't get the satisfaction of, okay, we wiped that team, now on to the next one, because you see them coming from the fucking sky because they want to land on their loadouts again, you know?
Yeah. No, yeah, that's. So.
And they hunt you down because they want revenge.
Yeah.
It's like,
it is kind of boring though when you play PUBG and you get like killed and then you just sit there
That's
Well, yeah.
for like 20, 30 minutes.
So,
I mean, maybe coming back once is okay, you know, something. But
Yeah,
like,
Fortnite has
I
that
think
shit
Warzone
nailed
went a
down
little too
because it's
crazy.
I think the sweet
Fortnite,
spot.
you can come back, but it's so hard.
I think the sweet spot was original Warzone when it was the gulag and it was like hard to buy people back. But over time, they made it like super easy.
Yeah, I think it is important to have some type of way to come back so that the dead player just doesn't, quit out right away, you know?
Dude, that's really bad at Tarkov too. Like when you queue up in Tarkov with a friend and you die, and you can't even spectate them. You just wait. Like
okay,
you just sit there on the main
How does that
menu
game not
wait.
have fucking spectating? Like I
don't know, dude. They're using my money to fucking fund some dog shit FPS multiplayer game.
Okay, actually, I want to talk about that game a tiny bit before we end. But yeah, so I was
played
playing.
that recently, right?
Me and BK played Tarkov the other day, and I was like, oh fuck it, I'll stream.
Nice.
And we start playing, and I die within 2 minutes, and I'm like, what do I do, BK? And he's like, I'll screen share. So I'm like re-streaming him fucking, like, what a shit experience. But anyways, so yeah, I played Tarkov Arena. Who the fuck is that game made for? Like, it has horrible gun violence. The gameplay is fucking jank as shit. And it's like, you walk around and I dump half a clip into some fucking dude because I'm trying to level up some piece of shit gun. And he just one-taps me. And like
That game is
Yeah, I
the
mean,
worst.
Tarkov-
Looks horrible.
Yeah,
The overtime shit is so fucked. It was a 3v1, and I was like, oh, okay, the timer's going to go out because it spawns an objective. I was like, all right, it's 3 of us against 1. I guess we'll just camp the objective. And we were sitting there for like probably 10 minutes, and then bots, like boss bots, start coming around, and they're fucking invincible, and then they just kill everyone. It's who the fuck thought of that? Like, we have more players, the time's up. That's the end. You know? It's a real game.
I mean, the gunplay in Tarkov never was that good. And
no, I know. So why would you
why
make
they
a
wanted to
game
isolate it.
focused around on that?
I don't know. They got too much money.
And then there's
And-
there's the multi-team mode where like, holy fuck, you just stand and watch other people play the tournament mode. Like, bro, what is this? Why does this exist? Like, the match is 20 minutes long, and you play 3 minutes.
Yeah. I queued up because it said 2v2, like a tournament, and I was like, oh, like the gunfight tournament thing in COD where you like do a 2v2 and then it like queues you up in like a fake, bracket. But you actually had to fucking sit there, and it had a point system, and we were just watching, and there was dudes next to us calling us slurs the whole time. What the fuck?
That was the best part.
Who thought of that game, honestly?
No, the best part was you can stand on the top and just yell down and tell the people playing where the people were. What a
You
bad
can just do call outs, and then and to combat that, you can just fucking kill the spectators. I was like, hey, he's over there. The dude just turned up and blew my brains out.
What a weird fucking game mode.
Yeah, who was asking for that? I mean, it just
nobody.
looks
No
horrible.
one.
I don't know. Yeah, it's like Tarkov has a game that works, and you would think it would logically make sense to just improve that game because it has its own issues. And
also,
instead,
it's been in beta for forever. Like,
yeah.
and they keep ruining it too. Like it's just like
I fucking
dude.
started playing when Frankie 1080p uploaded his Tarkov video.
Dude, does that guy
This
still
motherfucker
upload?
wasn't even in 4K. I thought
the inertia should actually ruin the game for me. I can't do it. I don't think I can go back.
Oh god, yeah.
Tarkov.
Rash had never played before that, so he was like, "Why am I sliding around?"
Yeah, it's
Oh,
awful.
yeah, that
Witcher
shit's
3 has
weird.
it too.
Yeah, that shit's
Oh my
weird.
god, Frankie in 1080p is fucking uploading still. That's crazy.
What's he making videos on these days?
Is he still making in 1080p?
It looks like he did a sponsored Warship video and then a DayZ video.
Oh, all right, random. All right, well, I think that will wrap up the old pod. Thanks, Luke, for
Can I
joining us
bring up
again.
one more?
Oh yeah,
one
go
more
for
game?
it. Go for it.
I just wanted to ask: do you guys think we get a release date for Marathon this year?
Do we get a release date?
A release date?
Like maybe
I
then,
think that game actually gets canceled. I'm gonna be honest.
no.
I don't. I think it's going to be coming.
Unless
I think we'll get a trailer. Like
Unless
that
the
actually shows gameplay, maybe a beta or whatever.
I don't know. I don't think we're gonna get a date this year. And even if we get a date, I don't know. I feel like it's gonna be delayed
I
3
think
times.
I think at best you get like after the Destiny
The year,
expansion,
maybe.
you get like a trailer that says 2026 or something. Like, but I
Right.
don't think you get an actual release date. But I don't think they cancel it. Like, what else? Bungie has to do. They just spent all that money on Bungie. Like, what the fuck else are they gonna do?
Didn't they cancel their Matter game?
I think so.
Isn't
Isn't
that
there like
rumored
issues
canceled?
with Bungie and the takeover? With
There's
Sony and
there's all
stuff? I don't
sorts of.
know.
Apparently,
Why do they keep fucking themselves?
apparently,
Like, I
if
don't get
if this expansion doesn't sell well, Sony like just actually like. Right now they're a separate entity,
over.
but if
Yeah.
this expansion flops, they just become a Sony company. Like Sony takes over the board. Like right now it's 50-50, but if
hey.
they fuck up, Sony just takes over the whole board. So
I mean, I guess Sony could cancel it.
I mean,
that-
honestly, maybe
still
it's
is a
better.
possibility.
Well,
I
Yeah.
mean,
Bungie has
yeah,
run its course.
yeah, and Sony does.
The original people aren't there anymore. Most of them. So I don't know.
Yeah, I love to chuckle at how many times Bungie just like repeatedly fucks itself over with publishers. Like,
I mean, dude, maybe they like it, and maybe it's like a fetish.
they love to be in like, I think they just love the scapegoat. They just love to be able to be like, the game would have been so
Right.
good, but Microsoft, the game would have been so good, but Activision, and then they're on their own. They're like, who do we blame? The game would have been so good, but Sony. But
it does seem that way.
Oh my god, I
No, no.
stumbled into Frankie drama. I'll tell us after the post podcast.
VK's fine.
This is interesting. He's scrubbing videos and he's fucking making fun. This is crazy.
This is the real content.
All right. Well, I think we'll wrap up the old pod here. Thanks everyone for watching. I'll get the VOD up sometime tomorrow probably. So if you missed anything, you can catch it. Oh my. You can catch it there. I think this year, one of the big goals is be more consistent. So I think we'll be back in 2 weeks, and I'm gonna be better about putting out clips and shit. So this is the year of the pod, because since I don't really stream ever, I got a lot more time to do shit. So
Oh yeah.
will I hit go live before the next podcast? That's the real question. It's up in the air. So all right, thanks
Vote
everyone.
now.
What?
Vote now.
Vote now. All right, but yeah, thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you guys all in a couple weeks. Goodbye.
Goodbye.